Thank you for stopping by, guys. Today's video will be making this beautiful corset top. This video is too long, so I had to split it, and I hope you understand. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell to get notified when I upload a new video. So without wasting much of our time, let's just get into the video. So this is the fabric I'll be using, the lining, the bias, the zipper, and I'll just keep that aside. And this is it. I've gone ahead to cut everything on my fabric and on my lining piece, as you can see. And I'll just go ahead and remove everything. So we'll just work on the fabric and I'll keep the lining piece aside. So as usual, we'll just go to our machine and stitch this part down like so, the both side. And after doing that, this is what it looks like. The next thing I'll be doing is I'll be using my bias. I'll first of all fold here into two and mark the middle part, and I'll do the same thing for the back side, the down side as well. And I'll mark the needle part, and I'll just connect my lines together. And then I'll just take equal measurement from both sides, that is this side and the other side. Just make sure what you are doing is they are the same thing, like something, yeah, just make sure they are the same thing. So I'll just go to my machine and I'll stitch that part down, and I'll also stitch that part where I joined down as well. I'll stitch the other side like this. So you stitch your bias on both sides. I hope you know how to do that, guys. If you don't, please tell me in the comment section. So you just run a stitch on both sides. So what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to create the same line so that I won't have one side bigger than the other, or it's not being or looking the same way. So that's just what I'm doing here. And I'll just go ahead and draw my line. So on this line I just drew, I'll also go ahead and put my bias there as well, and I'll stitch my bias on all of I'll stitch my bias and I'll come back and show you. So this is what it looks like. So you can see that I've gone ahead to stitch my bias. And please, if there's light in your place, please iron this. There was no light when I was making this fabric when I started. Even the hairstay that I wanted attaching to it, there was no light, and my client needed it. So this is the cup and the lining, and what we'll do now is to go ahead and join our cup. So I just went ahead to notch the number one part of my cup, and I notched the upper part. This notching is not necessary, but for me it just makes it less stressful for me when I'm trying to join it together, so I know which part is going for which part. So you just take one of the number two and one of the number one, making sure you are placing them well, and follow your arrow, guys, follow your arrows, and then you go ahead and pin it down. And I'll keep this aside, and I'll do the same thing for the other one. Just take it like this, pin it down as well. So after pinning it down, I'll go to my machine and I'll stitch on it, and I'll repeat the same thing on my lining piece as well. And this is what we have after I was done stitching on it. You can see what it looks like. You can see what we have. So after that, next thing you do is from the upper part. So you can see my notch part, so I knew that was the upper part, and I'll go ahead and I'll come down by 2.5 inches. So I'll just mark 2.5 inches. So just connect your dots together, and I'll mark 2.5 inches as well on this other side, so that I'll be able to have a straight line. And then after doing that, I'll just bring my bias and from that 2.5 inches line, from there I will sew this bias. So I'll just pin it down so you just understand what I'm saying. So you just go ahead and stitch this part down from the 2.5 inches mark you took. So guys, please, I advise that you stitch this one first. You stitch this one first before placing your bias the other way around. So you also place your bias on the mark as well, like this, and run a stitch on it. But please stitch that down one first before stitching the other one. So I'll do the same thing for the other piece, and this is what we have. So you can see I've gone ahead to stitch it, and I stitched the down one first before stitching that one on it, and this is what it looks like. So what I'll do now is to bring our cup. So we'll be making use of a ready-made cup, and I'll just place it like this to see if it fits. And as you can see, my cup is bigger than my fabric because she has a small boobs, guys. So you can see the excess we have here, but not to worry. All you need to do is to fold it in like this, and you just run a stitch like maybe 1/2 inch, or you measure the excess and then you just stitch it down. So you just stitch it down, and I'll do that for the both cup as well. So this is what we have. You can see I've gone ahead to stitch it down, and I'll just go ahead and measure it again. You can see what we have. Our cup is sitting perfectly in our fabric, so it is perfect now, and I'll keep the cups aside and work on this. So as you can see, I've gone ahead to attach one of our cup, the fabric, and I'll just repeat the same thing for the other one. So you just place your cup like this, and then you just pin it down. That's just what you need to do. So just go ahead and pin it down to keep it in place so that it will be easier for you to stitch on. And this is what we have. So you can see what we have. I'll just go ahead and run a stitch on it. So I've gone ahead to stitch it, and there was no light, like I said, for me to iron this. So you can see what it looks like. It's even looking rumpled. So guys, but I'll make sure I iron it. So guys, this is the cup. So we'll just go ahead and place our cup inside the 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 cup of the fabric we created for it. So you just place it like this. When you are placing this, guys, I think you need to use strength so that to sit well, and you'll be pulling it. I don't know if you understand, so that your fabric will not have gipping, or your fabric will not be too much on one side. This is easier, guys. It's not like it's hard. So just go ahead and be pulling it so that it will be smooth. So just go ahead and keep pulling it, and use your pin to secure it. This will take a while, guys. Just take your time. It's better to have a perfect something. So it might not be perfect, but at least, so you can see what we have. See the inside and see how it is. So you can see how stretched it is. So I'll do the same thing for the other one, and this is what we have. I just go ahead and keep pinning it, so you can see what we have. I don't know if you understand what I was saying. So look at the inside. You can see that the cup is sitting down well. So what I'll do now is I'll use this gumming glue. You can actually stitch this, but not round. You can just hold it down with your machine, maybe on both sides, just to keep the cup in place, or you can use this method. So for me, I think this method is easier and kind of neat for me. So you just cut this out, and you lift your cup up like this, and you place it inside. You can also remove your pin, but make sure before you iron it, you adjust it back again just before you iron it. So you repeat the same thing just keep on putting this in place so that when you iron it, it will just stick together. So you can see how I'm putting it everywhere, because I just want it to stay once. I don't want to go and come back and start doing it again. So just take your time, guys. So after doing that, I just brought my cup, and you can see I went ahead to return the pins I removed initially, and I went ahead to cross check if it was staying well before ironing it down, guys. Please do that so you won't like what it will look like. So you see, I went ahead to iron it flat, and look at what we have. So you can see how sticky it is. So the next thing I'll do is to bring the back pattern, and I've gone ahead to sew my dart, and this is what it looks like. There is no light again. So I'll just go ahead and place these bias like this, and I'll run a stitch on both sides. After doing that, I'll place the back piece to the front piece. So I went ahead to notch my zipper, my zipper part, so just for it to make it easier for me to locate. I really don't like mixing up my clothes, so that's why I make notches. So I'll just go ahead and stitch the side together, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. And I'll do the same thing for my lining piece as well. So I've gone ahead to do that, guys, and this is what it looks like. You can see how it looks like, and we are almost done, guys. So as usual, there's no light. So now I used 1.5 inches. I forgot to mention that when I was joining it, that 1.5 inches that we took when we were drafting the pattern. So you take your body measurements, that is the allowance you left. Guys, please do not forget, take your allowance you left, don't take lesser or more than. So this is the front piece, the lining piece. I did the same thing, and I'll just place it like this, right side facing right side, and I'll just go ahead and stitch it at the top. So just go ahead and pin it down first. So I'll just go ahead and pin this down first before stitching on it. So remember, I'll be making use of a zipper for this dress and not a loop. So I will show you how to insert our zipper, and we'll have a neat finishing. Guys, this thing is not hard, just take your time. I'm sure you'll get it. It's not really hard. So you can see I've gone ahead to pin it. So what I'll do now is to mark out my zipper allowance, which was 1.5 inches. So I'll just mark it out, and I'll just stitch from one zipper to the other. I don't know if you understand. So I'll not be stitching that zipper allowance part. I will not be stitching because I'll be attaching my zipper. So I'll just stop here. So you stitch from that line there to the other line, leaving that side opened. I hope you understand. And this is what we have, and I've stitched it. So you can see that that part is open. I did not sew that zipper allowance, I only stitched the top part. And this is what we have. And as usual, we'll go ahead and stitch towards the lining piece. So I've gone ahead to stitch towards the lining piece, and if you notice, you can see that it is already, the lining is still showing. So not to worry, not to worry. I'll show you guys how to make this clean in a jiffy. But first of all, let's just go ahead and put our zipper. So just go ahead and mark out the 1.5 inches, and you leave 0.5 inches at the bottom of this top, and you put your zipper on your fabric, only on your fabric. Do not attach it to the lining piece. So just place your zipper like this, making sure that the head of the zipper is facing the worst side. So you can see how I placed my zipper, and I'll go ahead and stitch it down. So you can see I'll just go ahead and stitch it down, and I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. I hope you understand this part, guys. And I've gone ahead to stitch my zipper, and this is what it looks like. So you can see the front, you can see how neat it is. You can see it's looking a bit rough, right? Don't worry, we'll adjust that. So you can see I fixed it only on my lining piece, and this is what we have. So what we do now is open it up like so, and then complete your sewing. I don't know if you understand. Just take your time, guys, and watch this. So you complete your stitching, you just stitch it down. Remember, we did not stitch it complete now because we wanted to fix our zipper. So you just go ahead now and stitch it down, stitch it, match on your zip, stitch it down. So this is what it looks like. I've gone ahead to stitch it down both side, and the next thing I'll do now is I'll just go ahead and close it up. So you can see what we have if we close it up. So what I'll do now is, after closing it up like this, I'll just go ahead and cut the excess zip. And this is how it will look like. So guys, remember I said not to worry if in case you finish sewing it and it's something looks like that. So you can see I've gone ahead to do 1 cup, and I'll show you how I did this cup. So what you do is just carry this your hemming gum, place it like this, and then you'll be pulling your lining inwards like this, and then you stitch on it. Be careful when you are doing this. Make sure your hemming gum is at the tip of this, because if it is not at the tip, just make sure it is at the tip so that it will be easier for you to stitch the down part of this dress. So that was what I did, and you just go ahead and just iron it. This is a trick. So anytime you sew a clothes and it is puffing, don't worry, just do this and you see it will come out perfect and fine. So just go ahead and iron it, and you can see what we have. Look how neat it is. Oh my, you can see. So they just brought the lights, and I decided to show you guys, and this is what it looks like. You can see how the lining piece is not showing at all. So you go ahead and insert your boning casing now. So when you insert this boning casing, you might notice that your dress will be puffy, like it will be standing up. I don't know how to explain it, but something like that, because of the boning casing. Don't worry, it's still good. What you do is just to give it a good press, and it will slip flat. So in case that happens, don't be scared, just iron it and it will be fine. And you can see how I was placing this boning casing. So you just put it in like this, you pull it out and cut it out and push it in again, leaving space at the bottom for you to sew on it. So this is what we have after I was done. So next thing we'll do is to fix the down part of our dress. So you leave the 2 zipper side, do not touch that part. So I've gone ahead to stitch the down part, and this is what it looks like. So this is the zipper part that I said you should not touch. So what you do now is you just go ahead and stitch. You see this thread, just stitch close to it. Just go ahead and stitch close to it like that, leaving one side open. Do not touch the other part. So from the other part, the other zipper part where we did not sew, you bring out your fabric like this. I hope I'm not too fast and I hope you understand, guys. Please, if you don't understand, please keep your question, I'll answer it. So you can see how neat it is, guys. You can see how neat that side of the zipper, the one where we have. So the next thing we'll do is fold it in like this, fold the lining and the fabric in like this, and you stitch on it, or you use your hemming gum, anyone you want. So for me, I'll be stitching on it, I'll not be using my hemming gum. So you can iron this first. So you can do anyone you want. So I'll just go ahead and stitch on mine. I'll just sew it close to the zipper, and after doing that, I'll go ahead and insert our sleeve. So guys, I made a video on how to make this sleeve, guys. The video was too long, so I had to split them, so I'm sorry about that. Just check out the video on how to make the sleeve so that you understand better. So I've gone ahead to insert our sleeve, and this is what our top looks like. There was no light for me to iron this. So guys, when they bring the light, I will make sure I iron it before giving my client her dress. And this is what our top looks like. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Bye.